lose. But here I never lose, I only gain. And I will remake again and again and again the life, the last life. Wait a moment. Let me get the other place where I have the text. I was talking about Uranography by Gênesis by Kardec. And I will see in English, I will read so fast to you. And if you don't be good, it's because YouTube have a problem with me. And if not, YouTube have someone that have a problem and think that have the rights, because this, what these people are making, is bandit, is robber, is people that don't value nothing. But these people still continue making this. The problem is from these people, not mine, not from God. The return ever come. Grace of God, return ever will come. Ever. No one escapes. Because this I'm so happy. I'm so happy because my conscience is totally clean about in this life, yes. Let me see. Gênesis in English. Bem que vi. Bem que vi. Bem que vi tá lá fora. Adoro bem que vi. I must erase here because I have only 5 minutes. Sorry, it's not me that posted this. I made a video with 13 or 35 minutes. But a person make this video appear only 5 minutes. See how evil and bad this person, this soul is. This soul are from hell, not from normal person. To make this with a person that try say the truth, and these people come here and don't let me. Why? I ask God and good spirits show this person to stop to make this. Before this will be so late for these people. Then is chapter 6 about uranography and eternity is this. I will make turn off here because I don't get. I learned to put here first. Let me see if I got. I got. Chapter 6. Seventh. Chapter 6. I was in, I don't remember, I think the fixed stars, no. I got here. Genesis, chapter 6, and she will talk about moon, about planets. Is this laws and forces, matter, and I think I started this. Many definitions of space have been given. Space and time, no, it's not space and time. It's the second item from chapter 6. Matter, no, 2. Oh my God, oh my God. Yes, here. Matter, laws and force, lays, no, it's not this. The first creation. Don't remember where I laws and forces. Wait a moment. I will see in Genesis in Portuguese, and I will say to you about. It's not matery, uranography. Mm, yes. Is the item 1 until item 1 and 2. Only 2 items is this. Item 1. Yes, 1 and 2, I started the chapter. Maybe I will only read 1, and others week I will read other item 2. Space and time. Item 1. Many definitions of space have been given. The principal one is this. Space is the span that separates two bodies. From this, certain sophists have concluded that where there were not bodies, there would be no space. This is what doctors of theology stood on to claim the space was necessarily finite, alleging that bodies limited to a certain number could not form an infinite series, and that their bodies ended, space would also end. Space has also been defined as the place where worlds move about, the void in which matter acts, etc. Let us leave all such definitions, which don't define anything, in the treatises where they lie. Have a bit from Kardec. This chapter was textually extracted from a series of communications dictated to the Parisian Spiritist Society in 1862 and 1863 under the title Uranographical Studies. signed by Galileo in great letters. Kardec described this name, Galileo. Kardec writes this name with great letters. Galileo and medium was Mr. C.F. That. This is initiated from the number of Camille Flammarion, who was a French astronomer and author by books about astronomy that made part of the Parisian Spiritist Society in those times. Is this the text I was reading to you? From Galileo Galilei, nothing more, nothing less than him. The space is one of those terms which represent a self-evident, primitive and axiomatic idea in which the many definitions that may be given to it serve only to obscure. We all know that space is, and I wish only to affirm its infiniteness, so that in our subsequent studies there will be no barrier opposing the investigation of our objective. Thus, I will state that space is infinite for the reasons that it is impossible to imagine it having any limit, and that is in spite of the difficulty we have in conceiving of the infinite. It is nevertheless easier for us to go on forever through space via dot than for us to stop at any point beyond which we would find no more space to traverse. For us to picture the infiniteness of space with our limited faculties, let us suppose that upon leaving the earth, which is lost in the midst of the infinite, we head toward some points in the universe at the prodigious speed of an electric spark, which crosses thousands of leagues and seconds. Each second, having barely left in this globe and yet having traveled millions of leagues, we find ourselves in a place from which the earth appears as nothing more than a pale star. An instant later, always going in the same direction, we approach the far-off stars that you can hardly make out from your terrestrial station. And from there, not only is the earth lost to your sight and the depths of the heavens, but even your sun, its splendor, has been eclipsed by the expanse that separates it from us. Always traveling at the same speed of light, we cross through systems of worlds at every step in which we proceed through the expanse islands of ethereal light, starry ways, and magnificent landscape where God has sown words in the same profusion with which he sowed the plants on earth's prairies. In 180 a note from Kardec, General Conference of Weights and Measures Conference, January 10, poids et mesures, adopted a standard value of 299 billions, 792 thousands, 458 hundredths meters by second. The velocity, the time is the weight of the spark, electric spark, is the velocity of the electric spark. In this place, General Conference of Weights and Measures. In French. I don't know if it's in French. For the speed of light, Imperial units, it's about 186 billion 282,397 miles by second, or roughly 1 foot 9 seconds. 9 seconds. Now, it has been a few minutes since we started, and already hundreds of millions and millions of liquids separate from the earth. Thousands of birds we are without stop in this velocity of electric spark. We have not advanced one single step in the universe. The universe, you here and you go in velocity of light, and you go, 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 millions of billions of billions of billions of years without stop. You don't go out of the place. Is this eternity? Is a perfect vision of eternity for us. If we are to continue for years, centuries, thousands of centuries, and millions of periods, and 100 times a longer centuries, and always at the same speed of light, we would have advanced hardly at all. And thus it is, no matter where we might be, and no matter to what point we might head from that invisible grain of sand which we left behind, and which we call earth. Earth is a invisible grain in front of universe is this. That is what space is. And this planet, a grain of sand. 2. Like space is a self-defining word. One can get a more exact idea of it by relating it to the infinite whole. Time is the sequence of things, is a sequence of things. Time. It's connected to eternity in the same way that things are connected to the infinite. Let us imagine we are at the beginning of our art in that first epoch in which it had not yet moved under the divine impulse. At the beginning of Genesis, time has not yet left the mysterious cradle of nature, and no one can say what age we are in because the pendulum of time has not yet been set in motion. But silence, the first hour of a lonely heart sounds at the eternal bell. The planet begins to move through space. Silence, the first hour, the planet was stopped. Planet don't still are moved. In Bible was is written. Then was the traverse. And the first hour of a lonely heart sounds at the eternal bell. Then may make light. God make light. It starts to move the planet. The planet begins to move through space. And from then on there are evening and morning. Starts to have evening and morning. Beyond Earth, eternity remains impassive and unmoved, although time has been marching steadily forward. On other words, on the Earth, however, time replaces eternity, and over a given series of generations over, one will count the years and centuries. Now let us transport ourselves to the final day of that earth, to the hour in which, bowed under the weight of old age, it will be erased from the book of life, never to appear again. Here the chain of events stops. The terrestrial movements that measure time, erase in time, ends with them. The simple exposition of natural things that have given birth to time, nourishing it and allowing it to stretch out, is enough to show that, from the point of view in which we must place ourselves for our investigation, time is but a drop of water that has fallen from a cloud into the sea, and whose fall is measured. There are as many words in the vast expanse as there are different and incongruent times. Outside these words, only eternity replaces such ephemeral sequences and peacefully fills the immensity of the heavens with its immovable light. Immensity without boundaries and eternity without bounds. Such are the two great properties of the nature of the universe.